Hi, my name is Jessica Allerton, Deputy Editor of The Pathologist, and I'm delighted to be here with Rohit Jain, our reader's favourite in the leadership category of the Powerless Leading Voices 2025. Before we begin, Rohit, could you please briefly introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi Jessica. It's so nice to be with you on this interview. I'm Dr. Rohit Jain. I am a consultant pathologist working at Santokh Durlabji Memorial Hospital, Jaipur, Rajasthan, India. And also, I'm the founding secretary of Practicing Pathologist Society, Rajasthan. I am involved in fighting for pathologists' rights in India as well as fighting for patients actually for last 13 years. That's more than a decade.
Amazing, thank you so much. So, your essay clearly resonated with our readers. Why do you think your message resonated so strongly with the pathology community, both in India and internationally?
Yeah. So, the pathology community actually is very underrated, exploited, and undermined both in India and abroad uh, by the medical professionals, the governments, the policymakers, and the business houses. So, in the absence of regulations everywhere, everybody is making a mullah except the pathologists, and the patients are the sufferers ultimately. So I guess it resonated well with the pathology community in India and abroad.
Yeah, absolutely. So following on from that, you described widespread quackery and unregulated diagnostics as major threats to pathology in India. For members of the pathologist audience may be unfamiliar with that issue, what does that look like on the ground?
So yes, there's so many things I have to say about this. Number one, if I would say, so there is no registry or registration system in India for the pathology labs. Like for example, in the capital of India, that is Delhi, there is no law to regulate the labs. So secondly, the unqualified and unregistered medical professionals are manning the labs all across the country. There is again nothing to regulate them. The lab technicians working in the labs, they are also not registered. Uh, Anyone can become a phlebotomist and draw your blood samples. That's the irony because there are no checks. Any Tom, Dick, and Harry can open a pathology lab. It does not need a qualification. Their absence of sample collection and sample transport policy in the country. We are fighting for this again in the courts. Uh, uh, that policy comes from the ISO 20658. So no policy. Uh, interestingly, there are online health service aggregators operating in the country, namely Amazon. You will be shocked. So Amazon is also now one of the online health service aggregators in India, offering home sample collections and then collecting the samples and then transmitting it to their partner labs. And they are just acting as a commission agent, a mediator. That's all. And signing, the reports are signed in absentia. Pathologists are not physically present. The reports are being signed and churned out. I might be located 500 kilometers from the lab, but still the reports are being signed. Even interestingly, the health insurance claims in India are being given based on quack reports. There is no check who is signing the reports. Again, to add on, the accreditation bodies in India themselves are not following the regulations, laws, etc. in the country to implement ISO 15189, which is the father for quality in the labs. So a common man is getting tested, getting viewed every day without, and nobody is there to listen to any grievances.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot that needs
Yeah,
changing, like you say.
yeah.
So what have you learnt about leading that change in a system as large and as complex as India's diagnostic sector?
So it needs perseverance and persistence. It's the key to bring change in such a vast and big country like India's. The pathologists have now started thinking, yes, they can bring some changes by concentrated efforts. Still, before this interview, there was a lot of debate going on WhatsApp groups and pathologists how to bring changes in the country as far as pathology practice is concerned. So there are a lot of pathologists now who call me and they want to do stuff in their state to bring changes in the pathology practice. So yes, now they have started doing it.
That's fantastic. So you've nicely moved on to my next question. You work a lot collaborating with attorneys and professional societies. How important are these partnerships in sustaining that progress?
Absolutely important. I could not have made to this power list without the support of the Practicing Pathology Society Rajasthan, because it funds the cases which we file in courts to for pathology practice, and more so, not without my attorneys, Mr. S.D. Sudhi and Ms. Mrinmay Chatterjee, who are there to stand for the pathologists in courts, and especially to add on for Mr. S.D. Sudhi. He is fighting pro bono. All of my cases is being fighting pro bono just because he understands that yes, the pathology care in India needs a lot of change. So hats off to them. It's not possible without the attorneys and the societies.
Absolutely. So many pathologists want to advocate for those higher standards, but don't know where to start. What advice would you give those individuals?
So for those individuals, you get in touch with pathologists who are striving to work for better standards. There would be many in the field, I'm sure. Uh, if you start looking at the pathologists who are working for better standards, you will definitely get them. Try to approach them, and they are definitely there to help you.
Amazing. If you could strengthen just one part of the diagnostic ecosystem immediately, whether regulation, training, enforcement, what would you prioritize and why?
Definitely regulation. Everything begins with regulation. So without regulation, none of these things like training, accreditation, or enforcement, nothing would exist unless there is regulation. Like for example, you might have best of the equipment, you might have best of the personnel, you might have best of the training, but without regulation, there is no army in the country. So you need to have the regulation first, and everything begins with regulation.
Absolutely. So, what is one leadership lesson you've learned through your legal and policy work that you believe every pathologist should understand, regardless of where they practice?
So I am a old school that way. So it's just that believe in yourself, because unless you believe in yourself, you cannot do it. Strive for an honest and ethical pathology practice wherever you are. And of course, you can bring a lot of changes if you want to. No matter what, people will support you definitely. And I think do good to others, then you will get good people to support you. So that is how you can move further.
Absolutely. So, we've already come to the end of my questions, but is there anything else you'd like to share with our readers?
So definitely, yes. So I would like all the readers of The Pathologist to support The Pathologist, because The Pathologist is the only platform in the world, I think, which supports the pathologist. So we must definitely support The Pathologist specifically.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Rohit, and congratulations again for being our readers' favorite.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.